Welcome to Damn Good Movie Memories with your host, Brian Davis. This podcast is the cure for your long commute and super boring workday. Hey there, it's Brian Davis, and for this week's episode, we're going to play off our theme from last week where we did movies that eventually became TV shows. This week we're doing exactly the opposite. We're doing TV shows that eventually turned into movies, so they had to be a TV show first. I think me especially, I found way more examples where I like these better, the movies better as opposed to the opposite way, and most of my guests felt the same way, so let's get into it right now. All right, I think most of these are in alphabetical order, so we'll run through these fairly quickly. The first one I'm going to start with is the A-Team. Now, I loved the A-Team growing up. Mr. T was like my hero after seeing him in Rocky III. Did I see Rocky III first, or did I see the A-Team first? They both came out around the same area. I mean, I think Rocky III came out in 82, and the A-Team was 83, 84, but if you grew up in the 80s, Mr. T was the man. He was all over, and I adored him. I loved what they got into, and even though there was tons of violence going on, they would be shooting thousands of bullets, nobody ever got shot. You never saw any blood. It was kind of campy, but for a kid growing up in the 80s, this is what I loved. Now, what they did was the right thing. They waited a long time to do a movie, and so you can have, not a spin-off, but it's not fresh in people's minds, so it's worthy of a revision. And I thought, with Liam Neeson playing Hannibal and things like that, they actually did a really good job, I think, with the movie. And so I would recommend that. As opposed to, eventually we're going to talk about which one did we like better. I still am partial to the TV program. I always will be, but the movie is worthy of watching. All right, Beavis and Butthead. So Beavis and Butthead was a staple in the 90s, and the show is great. And the movie is basically like one long episode. It's like a 90-minute episode, and some people rag that there's too much cornholio in it and things like that, but I think that's what the great part of it is. So really, this is where it kind of works, where if they waited too long, I think it wouldn't work as well, because I think you had to strike where the iron was hot, and Beavis and Butthead had been around long enough. I think the TV show had kind of run its course, and it was ripe for the movie Beavis and Butthead Do America.
Hi, we're serving dinner now. Our selections tonight are chicken piccata or seafood gumbo.
Oh, excuse me, does the gumbo have corn in it?
I am Cornholio. I need piccata for my bunghole.
You'll have to wait your turn, sir.
Are you threatening me? My bunghole will not wait. Bunghole. I am Cornholio.
Get the hell out of the cockpit!
You fed.
The Brady Bunch. So this is where they did a total spoof, a total satire of the TV show. The movie is where they're still stuck in the 70s, even though it's supposed to be modern day in the 90s, and so that kind of works. And I think that's where, they were smart to kind of do it like tongue-in-cheek as opposed to a strict play it by the book like the TV show. The TV show is a classic, so I'm not going to say it's better. The movies are better, but I think they're worthy on its own because they don't take it seriously. They didn't try to take it seriously, so I think it works. Charlie's Angels, and so Charlie's Angels was iconic for 1970s television. It wasn't good, I wouldn't say it, but it's fun to watch, and you have Farrah Fawcett, and it was an icon of the sex symbol of the 1970s, and so they waited long enough to where people that didn't grow up in the 70s or didn't see the reruns, when you have your Cameron Diaz and Lucy Liu and Drew Barrymore, it works well because there's enough time to where people that grew up, in the 2000s, they're not even going to realize that Charlie's Angels was a TV program, and so this is where it actually works pretty well. Dragnet. Here's another one where if you didn't grow up in the 50s and the 60s, you wouldn't even know that Dragnet was a TV program and a radio show before the movie with Dan Aykroyd and Tom Hanks in 1987. Now, if you didn't know already, Dragnet started as an old-time radio program in the 1950s with Jack Webb. He then did a more serious version, just like the radio program, on television in the 50s. And then in the 60s, it came back, and that's when it kind of got campy, and you know, guys were going crazy when they were on marijuana and stuff like that, and it's still fun to watch. watch. Now, then they kind of revised it, and I wouldn't call it a satire per se, but Dan Aykroyd just nails what Joe Friday's character is like, and he kind of nails how serious and by the book that Jack Webb played, the Joe Friday character. And so if you enjoy 80s movies, it's definitely worth checking out Dragnet. I don't know if Dragnet, the TV show, ages that well. I still enjoy it. And how can you not like the dun 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 dun?
We had been advised to follow up on a theft at 88-23467 Magnolia Boulevard. At this time of day, it took us 20 minutes to get there. The complainant was the landlady, one Enid Borden. Some pagan cards had been found.
What the hell are you on?
Police officers, ma'am.
About time you pencil dick showed up. Why couldn't you have got here before that big, bad, stupid-looking piece of sewage breath stole my white wedding dress?
Miss Borden, sewage breath would be your little nickname for...
Muzz. Emil Muzz.
Not much of an improvement.
That asswipe also stiffed me for 2 months' rent when his deposit check bounced. Goddamn puss-faced little pimp stick. All that was left in this room was a big box of these things.
Any idea where this Emil Muzz could be right now? Friends, family?
Nah, he was a loner. Took off in the middle of the night. Useless scum-lapping shitbag.
Just the facts, ma'am. He leave anything else behind?
Yeah, tape deck, which I had to sell to make up for the lost rent, so there's nothing you can do about it, you slimy little jizz bucket.
Yes, ma'am, although I should point out to you that technically you could be cited for swearing at us like that.
Says who, flathead?
It says the California Penal Code, Section 314.1, covering obscene live conduct in public. Good enough for you, lady?
Them magazines and papers were his down in the trash. No checks or money, I looked. I should have thrown it all in the river the day he left, but unlike some people, I have a heart, God damn it! That miserable little bag of puke.
I think we're finished here, don't you, Detective Strebeck?
All right, I alluded this to the last episode, but The Fugitive. So when my dad was growing up, The Fugitive was one of his favorite programs. Now, I grew up, in the 80s and early 90s, and so the movie was probably resonated with my friends more because The Fugitive really wasn't on reruns at all, and it wasn't until it was released on DVD that I actually got to see some episodes with David Janssen. But The Fugitive, the movie, is great. Harrison Ford does a really, really good job, along with Tommy Lee Jones. But I think if you were, of my dad's age, you're going to be partial to the TV program, or I'm partial, of course, to the movie. The Green Hornet, here's another one like Dragnet, where it actually started as an old-time radio program, and then it became a TV show, famously with Bruce Lee playing Kato. And then they made, it's kind of a spoof with Seth Rogen. A lot of people bag on this movie, including Seth Rogen, and that's why there was never any sequels ever made. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was great that Kato's actually he's the main superhero in this, and the Seth Rogen character really is kind of the buffoon, but I think it works well. And also you have Christoph Waltz playing the villain, and I think that's really good. But does it compare to the TV program? The TV program wasn't that great to begin with. It's cool to watch because you get to see Bruce Lee, but no, it wasn't. Watching the television program or the movie didn't take away from the TV program with me. I will say I'm a huge old-time radio aficionado, and so I'm probably more partial to the old-time radio program than anything. Jackass. So the movies are just like the TV program, just longer. So to say which one's better, they're not. Neither one is better than the other. One is just longer, and the movies did really, really well. So, if you like stupid human tricks and things like that, Jackass is for you. I do, so I enjoy Jackass. It says a lot about me. Mission Impossible. Now, I haven't seen much of the original television program. I've seen a few episodes, and so I'm going to be more partial to the Tom Cruise movies, and especially the last few. They've been brilliant. I believe Brian Provenzali and I will talk more about that later. The Naked Gun. So the Files from Police Squad was the television program, and it didn't do well at all. Actually, it only lasted, I think, 8 episodes. And so what happened was the Zucker brothers, who of course did Airplane and Kentucky Fried Movie, there were so many jokes in the television program, it didn't work. Because when you're watching TV, you're not glued to the set. You're doing other things. You're cooking dinner. You're cleaning. Nowadays you're on your phone. You're doing all sorts of different things. Whereas if you're sitting in a movie theater you're more likely to be tuned in on the jokes and the gags coming. But when it's on television, you're not going to catch them all. And that's what did it in. Because the movie is basically just like the TV program. The movie did really well. The TV program did not. So it's kind of, the attention span of a TV show is different than a movie. Here's where the TV show should have been just as good as the movie and should have been just as successful, but it wasn't. But the movies are brilliant. The Saint, which is a famous television program with pre-James Bond Roger Moore. I haven't seen many episodes, so I can't really comment much on it. But I really do like the movie version with Val Kilmer. I thought it was a very good take on The Saint. The next two are cartoons. They're animated features, The Simpsons and South Park. Samantha, actually, I was surprisingly doesn't actually enjoy the South Park movie as much as the TV program, which I found interesting. I thought both The Simpsons and the South Park did pretty well with their movies, and much like Beavis and Butthead, they're just basically longer episodes. So to me, that's a good thing. Starsky and Hutch, saw the reruns as a kid from the 70s, always enjoyed it. I also liked the movie. It's not a work of art. It's kind of like The Green Hornet with Owen Wilson and Ben Stiller, but I think it's funny. Snoop Dogg is great as Huggy Bear, so I thought that was well done. 21 Jump Street, I grew up with 21 Jump Street, so I enjoyed the TV program. Never thought it was a brilliant work of art, so that's why having a satire of it, 20, 25 years later is great. Channing Tatum and Jonah Hill, really, nice little pair there. And plus, not to give anything away, but in the very first 21 Jump Street, you actually get appearances from Johnny Depp and... oh, God, what's his name? I can't think of his name. But the other guy that's in 21 Jump Street makes an appearance. Peter DeLuise. There we go. All right, a few other quick ones. Well, here we go. Veronica Mars. So I just recently watched all of the Veronica Mars series, and it's a great, great TV show. A really well done modern day Nancy Drew. And if you didn't know already, they ended up making a movie a few years after it had been on, maybe not just a few, maybe 5 to 6 years after its initial run of 3 seasons. And it was all Kickstarter. It was all crowdfunded, and they ended up making a movie about that. And it's nice because it kind of ties up a few loose ends that would have been probably tied up if the television series had gone on longer. So if you're a fan of Veronica Mars, watch all the television series first, then watch the movie. I actually did it the reverse way because it actually got me into the television program. So now it's fun to go back and watch the movie now that I've already watched the TV series. All right, and the last one, and I can't comment that much on it, but it's The Untouchables, famous TV program about Elliot Ness. Robert Stack played Elliot Ness, and then, of course, the movie is just brilliant with Kevin Costner and Sean Connery and Robert De Niro. All right, that is it for my picks for this week. Let's get into what everyone else has to say in this week's episode. All right, we're back with Malin. Welcome back, Malin.
Hey, thanks. Hi, everybody.
So we're going to do this week, we're going to do our favorite movies that were first TV shows. So they started as TV shows and then had a movie made about it or made with the same characters or whatever it may be. But this time they have to start as a TV show and then were adapted to movies. And so this was a lot easier for most of us, and I think this is going to be easier for Malin as well.
Are you suggesting that I completely failed with last week's
Absolutely not.
TV transition?
Well, I don't know which one I'm going to publish first, so we'll see what happens.
Oh, okay. Well, I've already said that we did the.
Well, then we have to now. Yes.
First. Yeah. Okay. So both of these are a little bit challenging for me because I have a love-hate relationship, mostly hate with TV as a medium.
Uh-huh.
It's usually pretty disappointing because especially the American system where there's usually like an obligatory 20-something episodes with at least 80% of those being just filler.
Yes.
And I'm not a fan of the static episodes. I much prefer series with overarching story arcs where things develop and things things get more and more interesting as the series goes along rather than just kind of a repeat of the same old hash.
Right.
So this is a little bit more difficult for me, maybe than it will be for, I don't know, for others. I don't know. I wanted to start off with a couple of things that might be a little bit outside of what you're asking for, though. Okay. So first, I came up with a worst one.
Okay.
Is that okay? Unless you're
absolutely
planning on doing worst. Okay, Inspector Gadget has got to be the biggest heap of garbage excuse for a movie based on a TV series. Like, I grew up watching Inspector Gadget. And I know that the cartoon series was stupid and hokey and kind of dumb, but it was also fun to watch. And, you know, I mean, it lived and died off of, like, a few catchphrases that it just repeated ad nauseum. But the movie was so ridiculously poor. I went to see it in the theaters. I don't know if I can admit this. Okay, just so don't get me in trouble, but I was movie hopping. And it was it was going to be our second feature. And so my friend and I, we went into, snuck in. Okay, so we snuck into the auditorium right as the film was starting. I think it takes like no more than about 5 or 7 minutes for the first really painfully obvious product placement to kind of come into it. We walked out within 15 minutes. We just couldn't stand it. There was nothing compelling about that. It was just all sorts of disappointing.
Matthew Broderick, right?
Yeah, he's lucky he survived that.
Seriously, from Ferris Bueller to that's pretty bad. So save that pick when we eventually do movies that you walked out of. That'll be a good one.
Oh, have we not done that yet?
No, I think that's in the pipeline, though.
Yeah, you're assuming that I have taste good enough to actually walk out on things. It's pretty rare, but there have been a couple.
Well, you snuck in, so that makes sense.
Yeah, the stakes were really low.
That's right.
And the movie was even worse. So, okay, and the other one I was going to mention, because I don't think this is going to come up again, but Board Game to Movie?
Sure.
This is totally cheating because there's nothing.
Oh, totally. But this is fun. I like tangents. So.
Oh, okay. So Clue.
Yes.
And the only reason I mention it was because I was having such a hard time researching TV to movies that I liked that for some reason Clue just came up, and that one is such a good campy dark comedy, and. You know, I had that gimmick where I guess they had filmed 3 different endings, and they were showing them individually. So you would go in and you wouldn't necessarily know which of the 3 endings you were going to see at a particular screening. And when they release it on video, they've got all 3 endings. I only actually like one of the endings, and the other 2 are pretty lame.
If you think about it, it's actually a brilliant marketing move if it works, because then that means you would have to go back to the movie theater 3 or 4 times, which is kind of cool, but it just didn't pan out that way.
Right, I don't think it worked.
No.
I don't think it worked out for them that way at all.
But what's cool about the DVD version is you can randomize it, and so you never know what ending you're going to get, and that's kind of cool.
Oh, you're serious? I did not know that.
Yeah.
But I only like one of the endings. So
well, then there you go.
I just want to be able to pick the one ending that I like.
Sure.
But that's pretty cool. Okay, so
I'm surprised you didn't pick Battleship. They did a Battleship movie too.
Yeah, but I haven't seen it.
No,
I don't generally like war movies.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to see Battleship.
Yeah.
And I didn't. I totally skipped it. Okay, so I've totally been not talking about anything I'm supposed to be talking
about.
That's okay.
We like this. We like that.
Okay, so I do have a few TV to movie adaptations.
Okay.
So a few honorable mentions that I'm just going to throw out there kind of statically. I don't want to talk about them.
Sure.
But I'm acknowledging them as honorable mentions. They're not particularly my favorites, but I have liked them in the past. So Blues Brothers, the South Park movie, and Star Trek.
Yes.
Yeah. But I only count Star Trek as a TV to movie adaptation because I liked Star Trek 4. Okay. You know, all the others can more often than not just forget about them.
You don't like Wrath of Khan?
Yeah, I like it okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd have to say, so Star Trek 2 and Star Trek 4 and the rest, flush.
Sure. And then definitely, I thought almost about doing, I did half mention the Blues Brothers because it was on Saturday Night Live first, but we should probably just do a Saturday Night Live movie episode where we just talk about those.
Well, we would only talk about the Blues Brothers.
Well, Wayne's World.
Oh yeah, maybe Wayne's World.
Yeah, but there's some bad ones though. There's some really bad ones.
I know. So you should switch it. We should just do which is the worst, because that would be harder. Which is the worst SNL to movie adaptation.
That's a great point. We should probably we can do that.
Okay, cool. It's been a long time, actually, since we've bashed things.
I agree.
Where we had like a really negative, like, gripe fest about movies.
I agree. I think that'll be fun.
There's been too much love on this podcast, Brian.
Okay. That's my fault.
Like, turn that around.
Let's get snarky. Cool.
Okay, so some more serious ones. So anything that was derived out of Monty Python's Flying Circus. So you've got Monty Python and the Life of Brian, Monty Python and the Holy Grail, Monty Python and the Meaning of Life, Monty Python, anything Monty Python.
Okay.
Fantastic, love it. Top of my list, totally top of my list.
Yeah.
Okay, so a quiz for you. How many of the Monty Python films have you seen?
Okay, so Danielle hates me because when I first started working with her, she's like, "Well, you probably love Life of Brian, right?" And I'm like, "Well, I haven't really watched them to the full. I'm not a huge Monty Python movie fan, so I've seen bits and pieces of I think all of them, but I am not a go-to Monty Python type of person." Yeah.
Well, I knew that. I'm kind of channeling Danielle here, I guess.
Got it.
Because I remember you having said that on the podcast, and I'm just, yeah. So I hold a grudge.
That's okay.
Yeah. So absolutely love Monty Python and the Holy Grail. That's my favorite. Then Monty Python, Life of Brian.
Okay.
And I guess Monty Python, Meaning of Life, kind of pulls in at third. It's a little bit more scattered. Yeah, they're fantastic. They're so funny. They have an unbelievable concentration of quotables in both Monty Python and the Holy Grail and the Life of Brian. Just completely surreal, out there stuff. And it all kind of shouldn't work, but it does. And I don't know why it shouldn't work. It's just hilarious. I mean, all of the comedy in both of those films, it's all pretty stupid.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of highbrow at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
And somehow they make it work. I don't know how you balance lowbrow and highbrow so effectively, unless you look at Monty Python, the TV series, or the movies that they made. So which one do you actually like better, the TV show or the movies? My favorite is the Holy Grail.
Okay, but as a whole, would you prefer to watch the movies or the program?
I guess the movies.
Okay.
By a narrow margin, I'm going to have to say the movies. And again, that's because I like Holy Grail and Life of Brian quite a bit.
Okay.
And the TV series, God, it's so hard to say. The TV series just has so many priceless, whacked out moments. Mm-hmm. That's hard to say.
Yeah.
That might be too unfair comparison.
I should make that the bonus question. I should make that the bonus question of these. Do you like the TV show or the movie better? So, yeah.
That makes sense.
Okay.
That's good.
We'll do that. We'll do that going forward with your list.
Yeah, so for Star Trek, I'd say I like the two movies better.
Okay.
South Park, again, honorable mention. I don't really get... I'm going to say the movie because I think the TV series is kind of crap.
Okay.
Blues Brothers definitely like better than Saturday Night Live.
Yeah. I mean, they were basically bits, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so the next one, Absolutely Fabulous. I'm just going to start off with your the question. I like the TV series much better than the movie. I think the movie's fantastic to have. I love any time that Eddie and Patsy get on any size screen in front of me. I just absolutely love to hate to love them. Mm-hmm. And yeah, the movie's fantastic. The thing I don't like about the movie, the thing that hampers it for me, is that it follows kind of like I've noticed that British TV to movie adaptations, of which there are quite a few, they follow a really similar formula. And Absolutely Fabulous does the same thing. It's usually like the cast of characters that you know go off to either like the south of France or to Spain, or they go on vacation together, and then hilarity ensues. Like, Are You Being Served? They all moved into like some vacation cottage. The In-Betweeners went to like Majorca or something. Benidorm was a TV series set in, where did they go? Well, anyway, so yeah, it's just, come on, there's got to be a better formula than just everybody going on holiday to like the Mediterranean.
Well, you love your British,
right?
Yeah, and you love your British TV shows, so this makes
even
sense.
Mr. Bean did it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So it gets boring. It gets really boring after a while. So I definitely like TV series better. I was definitely looking forward to the movie, and I did laugh out loud during a few parts of the movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muppet Show to the first 3 Muppet movies.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, that's a hard one. I'm going to say that I like the TV series better.
Okay. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, I love the movies, but there's something that was just so perfect about the TV series. And then watching it as a kid, God, I don't know if I was watching reruns as a kid or actually watching the original run, because I don't know the years that it was out. I know the years I was watching it.
It's probably reruns because I think they came out in the mid to late 70s, so...
I think I was watching the original run as the thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So one way or the other, I grew up on the Muppets.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was during the original run because I was out there to like go and see each of the movies as they came into the theater.
Okay.
Let's see. The Muppet movie, when I first saw that was disturbing as a kid. I think I saw that too young. For a long time, the Muppet Caper was my favorite of the films.
With Charles Grodin,
You know, with Charles Grodin, right? I think I liked it because it took place in England, and even as a kid, I was already kind of an Anglophile. I don't know what was wrong with me, and I just kind of liked that movie a lot. Oh, and there was a crime caper, so you know, what's not to love about that? Oh, and Miss Piggy had a lot of choice lines and choice moments in that film.
She did. I think my favorite as a kid was Manhattan. For some reason, even though the better film is probably the first one, but yeah.
Yeah, I think as I've grown older, I appreciate the first one a lot more.
Yeah.
And the Muppets Take Manhattan was disturbing to me too as a kid because they all like go their separate ways.
Yeah.
For, like, a good portion of the movie, and it's like that was distressing. It was really distressing.
But the great part about the TV show was also the music guests they would have, and it was basically like SNL with puppets. So
yeah, and it was all over the place, and the humor was great for kids and adults. I think one thing I like about what is it? Is it Looney Tunes?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, Looney Tunes cartoons with like Bugs Bunny and whatever. Like a lot of the comedy that's in those cartoons was totally appealing to me as a kid. As I've grown older, I can still keep going back to those, and I get things, based on just life experience that I didn't get as a kid. And I think Muppets is great about kind of covering the entire spectrum of attraction for like young and old alike.
Yeah, I think that's the beauty, especially like you mentioned with the Looney Tunes, even more than Mickey Mouse. I think they weren't necessarily geared towards kids. They were geared sometimes to adults because they were played before movies. And then you had this wonderful music in the background. Yeah, I think they still hold they hold up today. I think as well as any cartoon.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay, so let me see. I'm going to skip one because it's a bit too British and off the beaten path.
Okay.
The other one. Okay, so this other one. This might be a little bit controversial. So I'm obsessed with all things David Lynch, but almost nothing more so than the Twin Peaks, Fire Walk with Me, Mulholland Drive, and Twin Peaks universe. So some people are going to notice right off the bat that I threw Mulholland Drive in there, which doesn't sound like it fits. But I guess David Lynch had done an interview and had talked a little bit about how Mulholland Drive had been developed as an idea during I think the second season of Twin Peaks. It was initially intended as a spin-off where Audrey Horne goes off to Hollywood and tries to become famous. Things changed in development and in the storyline, but I still think of those universes as being somehow compatible in some way. The narrative structure is this, for both, is this kind of dream logic that evades any kind of expected narrative storytelling. So they kind of fit into the same category in that way. But anyway, I was I watched the original run of Twin Peaks when it was on. I was completely obsessed with it. Absolutely obsessed in the worst way. And when it went off the air, I was just crushed, completely crushed and disappointed. And there's this line at the end of the second series where Laura Palmer says, I'll see you again in 25 years. It's in the last episode of the second series. And I just clung on to that, like a lot of other hardcore fans, just hoping that, it would come back at some point, maybe not 25 years later, hopefully sooner. Within a few months, I think we found out that a movie was going to be released. Everyone got excited. I got really, really excited. Went and saw the movie. The movie was completely different tone, and a lot of people didn't like it. Mm-hmm. The thing is, looking back on it, Twin Peaks, the first series, was really successful because it was very self-aware and it satirized what it loved and hated about the media the category of media that it was slotting itself into, which was like a nighttime soap opera. So it was like this supernatural, dark comedy mystery series with a lot of surrealistic elements and used a dream logic in terms of a lot of the storytelling. Mm-hmm. But it also poked fun at itself for deploying such heavy-handed soap opera elements. So when the movie got released, I think it jarred a lot of people because it dropped the soap opera elements. I mean, which makes sense.
Right.
Like, looking back on it, that makes sense because soap operas don't exist in a cinematic format. Not that I know of it, anyway.
Right.
It's not expected. So instead, the film pokes fun at. It doesn't necessarily poke fun at cinema, but it's much more cinematic, and it satirizes TV as like a dead medium. Where the first shot is a television being brutally murdered, killed. Yeah. So it does that right up front, and that was a tough adjustment for a lot of people, myself included, at first. So it took me a long time to kind of go back and appreciate that. Probably not until Mulholland Drive was released. And then I had an opportunity to reevaluate and think about all of that. And then Twin Peaks came back as a series, which a lot of people have been talking about or debating about whether or not it is a TV series or a movie and how to think about that. Because I guess they shot it as though it were an 18-hour film and then divided it up into TV episodes. Right. So it doesn't fit. The structure of it is, you can tell it's an uneasy fit in the TV medium, but it certainly isn't a movie at the same time. Mm-hmm. And it's really kind of thrown some people. I don't think the distinction is the most important in the world, but it is kind of cool to have something to think about after the show's over. So I'm going to throw out Twin Peaks as my favorite. Okay. Even though it's had a troubled history.
Yeah, I think that's a good pick.
That's it. The only other one I was going to mention was The Thick of It, which is a British political satire and comedy starring Peter Capaldi as the most foul-mouthed person in British politics you could ever imagine. Maybe some people have seen In the Loop, which was an Americanized version of that TV series. So it's kind of one of those instances where the TV series was popular in the UK, and then Hollywood was like, oh, well, let's bring that over to the United States. But they didn't do it as a TV series. They did it as a movie initially. So what gets interesting is then it ends up going back to a TV series because that creative channel was consistent. Roberto Iannucci, I think that's his name, was the one who was the creative force behind Thick of It. And then In the Loop, Armando Iannucci, I think that's his name. But then Veep with, what is her name?
Yeah, Julia Louis-Dreyfus.
Julia Louis-Dreyfus. Yeah. Right. So Veep's heritage goes through In the Loop back to Peter Capaldi and The Thick of It. Okay. And Julie Louis-Dreyfus's kind of foul-mouthed VP is, in many ways, kind of a mirror political satire image to Peter Capaldi's role in the thick of it.
Okay. Again, thank you as always, Malin. I think the next one we're gonna have to just talk about SNL movies, and they can be bad or good, but I think bad will be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun. There's so many more of them.
I know. Okay, thank you so much, Malin.
Okay, thanks, Brian.
All right, we're back with my other brother, Brian. How you doing?
All right, how are you?
Gone great. And we're going to... I love how we act like we're recording these in separate weeks.
I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. It's been at least 2 minutes. So, this week we're going to carry on with the movie to TV theme, but this way we're going to reverse it. We're going to do movies that were originally TV shows and then became movies. And so there are a lot more that we could come up with here.
Yeah, more to choose from here.
Yeah.
A lot more quality because, I don't know, usually if you have a good TV series, it becomes a good movie. But
Usually.
Maybe not. Well, okay, maybe not usually, but a lot of times.
Yeah.
There's more to choose from.
That's right.
For sure. I have a list. I wanted to mention a few things that would have been on my list if I had ever seen the TV show.
Okay.
And that would have been The Untouchables.
Yeah.
Which I guess was a TV show.
Originally.
Robert Stack, but
Yep.
I never saw any of that. So
Yeah.
but it's one of my favorite movies. The Fugitive is another one. Never
Absolutely.
saw the show. Knew it was a show, but I didn't know it was It was all the same to me how they adapted it.
That was my
And then-
dad's all-time favorite TV show. So, yeah.
And then Blues Brothers is another. which
Yes.
I don't remember the sketch back in the day. Well, I was probably just too young to watch SNL.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
remember it was a sketch.
Yeah, it started as they were dressed in bee costumes and they were doing a song called. I forgot what it was called. It was like a honeybee song or something like that. It's a blues song.
Okay.
And they were all dressed up in bee outfits, so they weren't even in their
They weren't even in their
costumes.
garb. Okay,
yeah,
that's funny.
And then eventually they did another
evolved,
bit. Yeah.
yeah.
But we're gonna
They were even the musical guest one time on SNL.
Exactly. So we're gonna do an episode where we just talk about Saturday Night Live movies, good and bad.
Okay.
And so that's probably gonna
All
be
right.
next.
All right. Well, to keep on that theme, one of my favorites of the ones that I do remember is Wayne's World.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Great sketch. It was always one of my favorites. Like I would always hope that there would be a Wayne's World sketch when SNL came on. So when they made it into a movie, it was great. And I loved the first one. The second one, it wasn't quite as good. It was still fun if you like Wayne's World a lot.
Oh, don't tell Lindley this. That's her favorite sequel.
Yeah. No, I mean, I liked. I could totally watch Wayne's World 2 like anytime it's on. It's just that I wouldn't seek it out as I would the first one.
Sure.
But it's
the original.
It was funny. Yeah, they kind of repeated a lot of the better bits, but they added a bigger dimension to it.
Sure.
Made it
and a good cast.
A good cast. Tia Carrera, and Rob Lowe was really funny.
And getting Alice Cooper
Alice Cooper is a great cameo in there. Yeah, and even the guy from T2, Robert.
Oh yeah, yes.
What's his name?
Oh, I always forget his name.
Robert Patrick or something like that.
Something Patrick.
Yeah,
and he's the Liquid Terminator.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Liquid Terminator who has a cameo as a cop.
It's really good.
So it was good. The cast. There was a whole bunch of like funny, character actors.
Yeah.
In that, including Ed O'Neill.
He was the donut shop guy.
Donut shop guy. And all their film crew for the show.
Yeah.
And Russell, the producer.
The buddies,
and it was just a
great movie.
Just classic. Next, I have The Addams Family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which was a great TV show. I watched that a lot in syndication as a little kid. And I think, honestly, when I first saw the movie, I was a little disappointed with it because I felt like I thought it was too annoying that they had to kind of bring Fester back into the family.
Yeah.
I thought that was a little bit weird. I was like, no, of course he's in the family. It's not.
Yeah.
Anyway, so they tried to do this fake out where they thought, Fester was maybe a guy who was faking his identity and not really Uncle Fester or something like that. But as I watched that movie more and more, I liked it.
You appreciate it more.
Yeah. Raul Julia is great.
He's
Gomez and Angelica Houston. So
Christina Ricci became a star.
Ricci, pretty much everyone in that movie was great.
Yeah.
Christopher Lloyd, of course, is Fester.
Yeah.
And even the sequel I like because Joan Cusack mostly. She was a great villain.
Addition. Yeah. Good pick.
And then next I have the Mission Impossible series.
Good. Yeah, good point. Yeah.
I actually didn't like the show that much. I just thought it was pretty slow.
Sure.
And not too interesting. And I didn't watch very much of the show in syndication. But the movies I thought have been pretty entertaining. And I like the more recent ones better where they've amped up the action a lot more.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the Ghost Protocol. I think that was the fourth one.
Yes,
it's probably my favorite so far.
I agree. Really well done.
Overall, best action, and they brought Jeremy Renner into it, which is pretty cool.
Simon Pegg.
Yeah,
he's really good.
Been funny. Yeah, so the fifth one has the same cast again. They've all been good.
The only one I really didn't like was the second one.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. That's why I have them all ranked here. So I have number 2 is listed last.
Yeah.
And it's too bad. John Woo.
John Woo.
There's a lot of John Woo cliches in there.
Yes.
Which maybe there are too many of that. And I didn't think the villain was all that good. So it was just, it's kind of like, I don't know, pretty forgettable. The first one I still like, although it's much more like the TV show where there's a lot less action, I guess, than the current movie crop.
Yeah, and then the third one they started to get better again because you had the great villain and how
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Exactly.
He was good, and J.J. Abrams directed it, so it was a lot more like the show Alias, which he was producer, director of, or whatever. So it was a lot more in keeping with that, and it was a lot more fun.
Yes,
and
I definitely
since
agree.
then they've been good, and I guess there's another one coming out,
which is great. I mean, they keep making money and they keep doing well.
Yeah, as long as Tom Cruise can get climb onto an airplane,
exactly,
grab onto the end of an airplane.
Oh man, but I think I saw something where he got injured on one of the stunts. So
not surprising. I mean, it's cool that he does all that work.
He's in his 50s now. So.
His insurance policy is just going to go up.
That's right. I forgot to ask you. So for Addams Family, do you like TV or movie better?
Oh wow, I could probably the TV show.
Okay.
Yeah, but it's like I said, I didn't like the movie as much at first. I liked it, but it wasn't like, oh, this is great. But I think after viewing multiple viewings, I've appreciated it more.
The TV show.
Both of them. But I like the TV show a lot better.
Okay, cool.
And I never really watched the Munsters, so I don't have a lot to
I love the Munsters. They're the best. Yeah.
I don't know, for some reason I never knew when it was on, or I don't know, I just missed it. But
well, if you ever want to borrow, I have the entire collection, because there's only a couple seasons, so they're a lot of fun.
Cool. And then my last one was Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan.
Yeah.
And that's based on it's a sequel to one of the episodes from the
that I didn't
series.
Know. Okay, I didn't know that.
The sequel, I wanted to make sure I got the name out. It's called Space Seed.
Okay.
And Ricardo Montalban is in that. It's basically like they find a derelict ship, and they like, all these people are on there in suspended animation, and then they go on to rescue them because they're like the system's failing or whatever. Make sure that they're okay, and then they discover it's Khan. It's like this guy who was like exiled from Earth because he started a war and killed a bunch of people in a eugenics war. So
what did Ricardo Montalban look like on the TV series? Like, did he look similar to what he eventually?
Wow, I have to look back. I think he probably looked a lot younger because it was in the 60s versus the 80s.
But he didn't have the mullet and the chest plate?
I don't think he had the chest tad on. Yeah. That was pretty... The spray tan chest plate. Yeah, that was... And he might have had the mullet, but maybe probably it was more exaggerated in the movies.
In the 80s,
in the movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I love Star Trek 2. It's got some slow parts, but it's my favorite Star Trek movie.
Me too, yeah.
So far. I just think... also, the drama with Spock at the end, Khan and as a nemesis to Kirk, a foil to Kirk is great. Ricardo Montalban is just there chewing all kinds of scenery. It's just awesome. And even, Shatner always does. So he was good.
So I take it you're a big Star Trek TV show fan.
Yes and no. I haven't even seen all the original episodes.
Oh, okay.
I'm not like a Trekkie. Okay. I liked a lot of the Next Generation because it was on when I was like I was getting into Star Trek at that time, and it came on new in TV, so I watched a lot of that. But
so did you enjoy the movies that came from Next Generation?
A couple of them. It's like the Even Odd Rule.
Okay, that's a good point.
First Contact, I remember liking a lot. That's where they go, the Borg attack, and they go back, and the Borg goes back in time. They have to follow them because the Borg wanted to stop like the humans from developing light speed technology, so they chase them back in time.
Okay.
Like the premise is always like pretty much all Star Trek movie premises are bad.
Sure.
But
you have to follow a certain format.
You have to just like go with the suspension of disbelief on those.
Right.
But the theme of that, is more just like because Picard had. That one's kind of was based on one of the TV episodes too, where Picard had been captured and assimilated into the Borg, and so he had like this personal vendetta against them. So that you had that built into the movie. So I like that part of it. But yeah, I'm not the world's biggest Trekkie fan. Like I want to see them when the movies come out, but I'm not like, it's not like Star Wars.
Yeah,
exactly. That's way above.
Right. Yeah. Cool. So those are the main ones? Or
I think, so I already touched on the other ones where there were... Oh, yeah, there was one more, and I wasn't sure whether to put it in this one or the other episode where we went from movie to TV. Okay. But I loved Pee-wee's Playhouse as a kid, and Pee-wee's Big Adventure. I think came on before that, but I think Pee-wee's Playhouse was also based on Paul Rubens' other stand-up work.
Right.
So it's kind of like
it can go either way.
I love Paul Rubens.
That's a good point. I totally
forgot
about
that whole public relations, let's say, incident.
It's almost like Saturday Night Live, where it was like a bit before it was an actual anything.
I mean, Pee-wee was basically a character or a bit.
Yeah.
And it turned into a movie, and then the movie probably got him popular enough that he got the TV show.
Exactly.
And then they made the TV show for kids, which I watched every Saturday pretty religiously.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So. Lawrence Fishburne. And
I know. It's
kind of weird seeing him.
Yeah, it's the funniest thing. Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah. Phil Hartman, too. He was Captain Carroll.
Yeah. Phil Hartman. He's missed.
Missed that guy, yeah.
But, all right. Great job. Thank you so much, Brian. All right, we're back with Samantha. Welcome back.
Hello.
So let's try we won't confuse ourselves this time because this is a confusing one. So for this week, we're going to do, it started as a TV show and then became a movie. And there's a lot more than the other way around. So what is your list, or what are the ones that immediately come to mind for you?
So this is hard. I think I mentioned in the other one.
Yes.
Whichever one will come first.
It's probably going to be movie to TV.
So, but I was just thinking about how these aren't always great. And I don't know if there's any that are very special to me.
I thought South Park would have been a good one, but you didn't like the movie as much.
I think it was one of those where I just saw once. And I was like, oh, okay.
Never again. Yeah.
But, yeah, because I love South Park.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of these that are kind of like sequels, or like, oh, the TV show did so well, let's make a movie. And most of these, I was looking through a list, and a lot of them are Disney shows that I watched as a child. Like, how can you forget the classic Lizzie McGuire movie?
I did, because it wasn't my era, but yes, did you actually enjoy that movie?
I did when it came out. Okay. It was a great TV show, and then the movie came out, and it's based in Rome, I believe.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't seen it in some time.
So you would so if it was a rainy Saturday and that appeared on your streaming menu, would you?
Yeah, I would probably put it on just for nostalgia's sake. But yeah, Lizzie goes to Rome. She meets a pop star who looks like her.
That makes sense.
Doppelganger thing. She falls in love. She rides on a Vespa. It's very cute.
Did she only do one movie?
It was just this one. Was there a Lizzie McGuire? I don't think so.
Okay.
There's a great soundtrack. So
there you go.
You can find those on YouTube.
Okay, this shows you how it's on the tip of my tongue. Who is Lizzie McGuire? Like, who is the actress that plays her?
Hilary Duff.
That's right. Yes. Yeah.
So let's see, the movie came out in 2003, so it was like right toward the end of the show.
So you were a avid viewer of the
I was in my early teens.
Okay.
So I was about this, I think, how old is she?
Their demographic that they were.
Yeah, so I'm in her like age group.
Okay.
So when Lizzie McGuire was on, I was around that age.
Got it.
And I was like, oh, role model. I want to go to Rome now.
Yes.
But yeah, so.
Well, you're probably the only one to pick the Lizzie McGuire movie, so this is why we have you on. This is good.
Oh, there's some others I think like that, but you have the SpongeBob movie.
That's true. That's a good point. So, but not the Simpsons movie.
I watched that. It didn't do much for me.
Okay.
I was always more of a... Again, I was a kid when SpongeBob started.
Got it.
So I was with it from the beginning. Simpsons have been on my whole life.
It's pretty much.
I've always watched it.
I was in 5th grade, I think, when it first came out. So yeah, so it's definitely the longest running TV show.
Yeah. What other classics do we have? I think. Oh, there are so many like Disney and Nickelodeon, like somewhat sequel movies, but.
So this is one where you could, if you wanted to go to the Addams Family, you could. If you liked
Addams Family.
Yeah.
So that I think is a a classic show.
Yes,
I think
absolutely.
There are no qualms about that. It
No.
is a great show. I love it. I love Morticia.
Mhm.
I wish my hair would grow that long, but it won't. So, yeah, love that.
Mhm.
I actually watched the TV show, I think, more than the movie. I think I've only seen the movie like when it was on TV or something, which it's cute. I like the movie, but I used to always watch this show, I think, when it was on, like...
on reruns.
Like at night and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Those and the Munsters will always seem to be on the most. It seemed like they were on constantly.
Yeah, like I love the Munsters.
Yeah, they're great.
Too.
Yeah.
I don't think I've seen the movie.
Was there a movie for the Munsters?
I was looking through this Wikipedia list, and I swear I saw the Munsters. Maybe it was on...
They had a TV movie version, but I don't know if it was... I don't know if they ever went and did one, but yeah. It's kind of surprising because you could go in the same direction as the Addams Family.
But yeah, Addams Family, so good. And I really like, I think the black and white of the old shows. It makes it creepier.
Agreed.
And the like kitschiness. I really like it. And the modern movies they did were fun.
Yeah, it definitely made Christina Ricci a star.
She was so little.
Angelica Houston's great.
Yeah. Had inspired lots of Halloween costumes.
That's right, absolutely.
So I think that version of it.
Yeah.
I wonder if people were people watching the show like when the movie came out, or was it kind of a...
Well, it came out in the 60s, so I mean, I want to say it came out in the early 90s. So yeah, I mean, a good 30 years. I mean, it's actually a nice way to do it because people have kind of probably forgotten about it. And so a whole new generation. Similar to The Fugitive. So my dad grew up with The Fugitive.
Okay.
He loved that movie, or loved that TV show. And I had no idea about the TV show. I just knew the movie.
Didn't either.
Yeah, and so I think that works well where if you didn't grow up with a TV show, it actually works as a movie.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I think another one is Bewitched.
Absolutely, but that movie wasn't good.
Horrible movie.
Yes.
Because that was another one I watched Bewitched a lot on reruns. And these are so indicative of my taste.
That's okay.
Bewitched and
Bewitched
Addams
is I
Family.
love that show,
My favorite childhood TV shows. And but yeah, the movie they did was awful.
Yeah. And you like Will Ferrell
I know,
too. Yeah.
and Nicole Kidman.
Yeah, it's just no chemistry.
I was so excited when that was coming out, but it just didn't work. It didn't work as a movie. It lost the charm. They could have cast it better.
I know they did a Dennis the Menace show, but there was a weird one where it was a comic strip first, then a TV show, then a bad movie. So
I forgot about that movie.
And they never did an I Love Lucy movie. They never did a Leave It to Beaver or anything like that.
No.
So,
yeah, I think the big one's Addams Family, then Brady Bunch.
Yeah.
Which was, I think a lot of people do like the movie.
Yeah.
But
it's a total spoof. It's not supposed to be taken seriously.
Maybe in Hawaii.
Yeah. Oh, one of them was in Hawaii,
The first one, I think, or no.
Well, they did go to Hawaii in the show. So
yeah.
Let's see. I think the first one they played somewhat, I mean, it's just the normal... Like they're in the 70s, but it's modern day. So, yeah.
Or was there just that like long Brady Bunch episode based in Hawaii?
There was definitely.
With,
that
like,
was
the haunting.
Yes, the haunted whatever. Yeah, so I know what you're talking about.
I don't know why I was thinking that was in the movie, but it's not. I haven't seen this movie in a very long time.
Yes, and they made 2 sequels.
And it was very forgettable.
Yes.
So. Yeah, I don't think there's any more classics. Of course, there's Star Trek.
Of course, yeah, and Brian picked that one.
Yeah, but I've never really watched the show, and I'm not a huge fan of the movies.
There you go.
It's just not my thing. So that didn't really pique my interest. I've seen the movies; they're fun, but I don't have that like attachment to the TV show. So, yeah, it's kind of a shame.
And there's another good one where they waited at least 15 years before I think they did the first movie.
Yeah, because there's been like...
Yeah, because the Next Generation... Yeah.
Star Trek's confusing.
I want to say the first Star Trek was 79, and the movie and the TV show came out in the mid-60s, so yeah.
Yeah, so I think that's probably enough
Those are the good
rambling
ones?
from me.
Okay.
Nothing really special in my heart.
That's okay.
So, there's so many. I keep browsing through a list and... Just like there were so many awful, in my opinion, 90s and 2000s remakes.
Were you into the X-Files at all?
No, I never did.
Yeah.
That's one that's totally like off my radar.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to watch it. I never have. So Maybe one day.
Someday.
Someday.
All right. Thank you, Samantha. All right, we're back with Enrica. Welcome
Hello.
back. So for this week, we're going to talk about, as Enrica teased the last episode.
Sorry, I got confused.
It's totally okay. We're going to do, this time, the reverse. It started as a TV show.
Okay.
It became a movie. So what are your favorites?
Well, as I was kind of saying, I didn't have television as a child.
Right.
So
You had the VCR.
I had a VCR. So I really only watched movies.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the movies that I like that were TV shows first are recently released movies.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like they had years and years and years to become beloved TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the past 10 years or so they like made
A movie
movies.
offshoot from, yeah.
I mean, movies have been made, but I've only like started watching them, I guess,
Fairly
seriously.
recently, yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's hard to explain.
Okay.
Like, as a child watching movies, you're not really watching movies based on TV shows because the way time has worked on television is like television shows that were popular in like the 50s and 60s weren't really being made into movies when I was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, a lot of the movies that were coming out were originals, like Disney originals.
Sure.
And, then there was another generation of TV that I wasn't watching.
Right.
And then those became movies in like the 2000s.
Yeah.
And those are the movies that I know.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
and that's
saying?
so good. We're getting at a different perspective here, so this is good.
And having not had television as a child, I didn't see a lot of the TV shows.
Right.
So I just kind of approached the movies objectively.
That's good.
So the first one that immediately jumped to mind was the Muppets movie that came out in 2011.
Oh, okay, so the remake or reboot.
Yeah,
of
the
the
one
Muppets.
that was
Okay.
done by the guys that are in Flight of the Conchords.
Yes.
All the music was done by them.
Mm-hmm.
I had a best friend in college who worked at Muppet World outside of Philadelphia or whatever. I don't remember what the name of the theme park was.
Okay.
It was like a Muppets theme park.
I didn't even know there was a theme park. That's
and she
pretty
like
awesome.
dressed up as a Muppet.
Oh.
She loved the Muppets.
Uh-huh.
Loves the Muppets.
That's like her dream job.
It was, she loved it. Sesame Place,
Mm-hmm.
I think. Sesame Place.
Mm-hmm.
She worked at Sesame Place. Anyway, different.
So
than
have
the
you
Muppets.
seen the original Muppets?
No, I haven't seen any.
So you haven't seen the Muppet movie or Great Muppet Caper?
None.
Really?
That's what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Like, those movies came out in the 70s.
And early 80s?
And
yeah.
early 80s. I was born in 91.
True.
So I didn't have television.
Mm-hmm.
So the idea of watching a movie that was based on the TV show
Mm-hmm.
that was released before I was born, as a child, it didn't seem like I'm going to watch the Muppet movie.
Got
you know
it.
what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But now, as an adult, it's got a nostalgia factor
Sure.
where I'll be like, I'll watch the movie because kids my age or a little older than
Mm-hmm.
me watched the TV show and like loved it as kids.
Right. So did you
I was
end
brought
up
into
ever
it.
watching the reruns of the Muppet Show from the 70s?
Yeah, my friend Sarah, we would watch
Watch
the
it.
Muppets
Okay.
in college. She
Good.
loved the Muppets.
That's
She
good.
loves the Muppets.
So it was almost like a Saturday Night Live of Muppets because they would have a variety show and they'd have like
Yeah.
guest musicians and things like
Yeah,
that.
Sarah explained it all to
Oh,
me.
good. Where's Sarah? We need to have her
Sarah!
on. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, she's hilarious. I don't know if she's listening. Sarah, you would be perfect
I
for
agree.
this show. But yeah, so the Muppet, she dragged us to see the Muppet movie when it came out
Okay.
in 2000.
The one with Jason Segel?
Yeah,
Yeah. Mhm.
11 it came out.
Yeah.
We were in college. It was my sophomore year of college.
Okay.
So, oh my gosh, I cried so hard in the theater. Sarah was next to me, was sobbing. She loved it. The music was great.
Yeah.
The Flight of the Conchords was really like my college humor.
Mhm.
You know, that was kind of popular when
Yeah,
I
it
was
was.
in college.
Yeah.
So it was really a nostalgic for kids my age,
Mhm.
I think.
Which is good because it's good to kind of bring that stuff back. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's kind of timeless and so.
Totally.
Yeah.
So it hadn't been brought back in some time,
Right.
at least in my young adulthood,
Yeah.
childhood.
Mhm.
So this was the first movie coming out that was nostalgic for the show,
Right.
in my lifetime. Yeah. The timeline really does make a difference on what you're exposed to.
Yeah.
So I loved it. I loved it so much, and I watched it multiple times. I watched it on the airplane, and every single time I cry, and I love the music, and I love
So now you
the acting.
You need to go back and watch the original movies too.
I know. I wonder if it would be lost on me just because.
No, because they're still fun, and the characters are the same.
I guess there was just so many changes that were made. 2011, they made Miss Piggy a little more, I don't know, feminist and.
But she was always sassy, and she always did what you wanted. So
yeah, but like they recontextualized it a little bit in more of like a respectful, like she's actually running the business.
Yeah.
And less of like a.
Well, definitely.
way.
There's only 3 to see. That's the Muppet movie.
79 that came out.
The Great Muppet Caper, so 81, and then the Muppets Take Manhattan, 84.
I think I saw the Muppets Take Manhattan.
Well, of course, you grew up
as
in
a kid,
East Coast. So.
But I didn't like it. It didn't resonate with me.
Right. But it's fun because of all the guest stars too. Like Joan Rivers would show up. And
Yeah.
Steve Martin. Yeah. Okay, so what is your next one?
Star Trek.
Of course. So which movie is you like the reboots?
Yeah.
Of the Star episode, Benedict and
love J.J. Abrams.
Uh-huh.
People give him such shit. I don't know why. I think he's brilliant.
I think he's great.
And I love his movies, and I love, having watched the most recent Star Wars, where it wasn't J.J. Abrams. I still really enjoyed it, but I missed that J.J. vibe.
It's going to be the third one.
I know, I'm so
that's
excited.
Good.
He just brings such a, magic, an energy that's in terms of, environment that I love. I think he shoots environment really beautifully. And with these kind of space films and other world films, I think he's untouchable.
He does a good job. Yeah.
And I just love his movies. I'm sorry, I can't. Everybody, is sick of him, but I'm not sick of him. I want him to make every movie. I don't know. I just love him. He's my style.
I will send this on to him. And
JJ, if you're watching,
you're the best.
If you're listening, he's my style. And the director who did The Last Jedi was much more like my husband's style. So we were talking about the differences in style and writing and action. On that director's side being a lot more character oriented, everything being more focused on the, character relationship.
Do you know why he didn't do the second movie? Why he didn't do the?
Why JJ didn't?
Yeah.
Because the original plan was to have different directors for all 3.
Okay.
And I think that the third film, they were not finding anybody that could really kind of finish the arc.
Yeah.
So. This could be wrong. I remember reading it somewhere. But I think they just decided to bring it full circle and bring it back.
So that seems weird to me because you would want some sort of continuity. Otherwise, it's all haphazard.
I don't know why they didn't have him do all 3.
Because Force Awakens was great. And I liked The Last Jedi, like you said.
I liked The Last Jedi a lot for different reasons. I thought it was too long.
I agreed. Absolutely.
I thought, it didn't focus enough on... I don't know. It just didn't have... It wasn't JJ.
Yeah, that's all needs to be said. Now, did you go back and watch the TV show, the original?
Yes, I watched all. Okay. That is one thing that's different than the Muppets. And, I didn't watch TV show as a kid.
Right.
I watch the TV show now because my husband watched the TV show as a kid.
Got it. Okay.
So he's like, let's watch Star Trek. Yeah. And I love it. I love the TV show so much.
Yeah.
I'm such a Trekkie now.
Now, have you gone back and watched the movies, the original movies with Shatner?
I only watched... San Francisco. I was born there.
The fourth one.
Yeah, that was the only one.
I think it's worth watching number 2 with Wrath of Khan, and then.
Oh yeah, no, I've seen that.
Okay, good. Yeah.
I did watch that.
And Brian informed me that that's based on an actual episode where Khan.
It is.
Ricardo Montalban's in the show too. So yeah.
I only know this because of my husband.
There you go, and I only know this because of Brian. So.
And Brian, yeah.
Yeah.
My husband's very into Star Trek, so we.
You bond over
have bonded over it now. Well, he shared it with me, and I'm very grateful because it's so good. It's it's so good. I could watch it all day.
And you get to share your J.J. Abrams love with him.
I know, J.J. I love you. I love what you've done with movies.
So what is your third movie?
That's it. That's all.
Oh, you have 2. Okay.
I have 2. I have Law and Order someday.
You know what? That's a great point. Why haven't they made a Law and Order movie yet?
An SVU movie.
That would be good.
Mariska Hargitay.
You got to bring everyone back on that one.
You got to get Stabler back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. Oh, throw it out there.
Lunch.
J.J. Abrams, if you're interested.
JJ!
That would be the best.
Please! Oh my gosh, that is my dream movie. I wrote L&O and crossed it out because I was like, it's not a movie yet, but it should be.
But it should be. That should be our next theme. Like
Things
what
that should be movies.
based on TV shows.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll think about that.
Law and Order SVU, we need now that it's like kind of coming to its end, I think it'll probably
how many?
wrap
15
up.
seasons or something like that? Or
They want to get to 20 and they're in
because the original
I think
did
18.
Yeah.
I think they're in season 18.
Yeah.
And I think they're going to get there, but I think after they hit 20, they'll be done.
Yeah. It's amazing. I mean, to go 5 years now is a big deal. I mean,
Yeah.
but to be almost 20, that's crazy.
I know.
Did the original finally die? Or
Yeah.
did they- okay.
Yeah. A while ago, I thought.
Okay. Because that hit 20, didn't it?
It did.
Yeah.
I think it was finished at 20. It's
Yeah.
the longest running TV show ever.
Well, you heard it here first, folks. If they do an SVU,
It's my idea, and
it
I
is.
already have a pitch, right? Like,
Yeah. Okay, I want to hear that.
Okay.
Well, actually, save it because we're gonna do the episode where what TV show do you want to be a movie? I want to hear.
Law and
the
Order
pitches.
SVU.
Yes, I want to hear that.
Dun, dun.
Dun, dun. Thank you so much, Enrique.
Thanks.
All right, we're back with your favorite guest, Danielle.
Here's
Your favorite laughing guest. Yeah. So for this week, and we'll see if she gets this correct because we always go back and forth.
Thank you.
We're doing TV shows that turned into a movie.
Yes.
Here, and who knows what's going to be on her list because she spent hours going back and forth. She spent at least 15 minutes just organizing her list before we were recording. So who knows what's going to happen. But I'm looking forward to it. So here we go. She doesn't do a top 5 list, as you know. She does a top 6 list.
Yes.
Sometimes 6.5.
Yes.
All right. Take it away, Danielle. What's number 6?
So number 6 is you said I didn't have to like the movie, right?
No,
I watched I had high hopes for the movie,
Yeah.
and then it just it was bad. I was upset. So
But you like the TV show.
I love for this number 6. I love the TV show.
Okay.
Love it. And okay, let me say
That
it.
qualifies.
So number 6 is Bewitched.
Yeah, Bewitched. Yeah.
Okay, so
I loved it too.
oh my god, I love it. Samantha, right? Her name?
Yes.
So
Elizabeth Montgomery
love
played the original.
her,
Yeah.
and then the husband, and of course the mom was the best.
And Dora, who was famously
And
played
Dora.
by Agnes Moorehead.
Yes, and Tabitha, right? Tabitha, the name. of
Tabitha's the
kid.
little girl,
Yes. So, oh my god, I love it.
Oh, and like
that
the
TV show.
uncle. Played by
yeah,
Paul
I forgot his name. Yes.
Yeah.
So I watched it as a kid,
Mhm.
and I like the first husband better than the second husband.
Okay.
Like the actor, not the first one.
Sure. They're both named Dick.
Yes, it was
Dick,
the same.
So you like Dick York, you didn't like Dick Sargent.
Yeah. The first one had to leave
Dick
because
York.
he had alcohol
Problems.
issues. Yeah, so he had. But I love that TV show. And then when they the movie, I was so excited. What's her name? Oh my God, my brain is fried.
She was married to Tom Cruise.
Oh, really? Tom Cruise had a few women, quite a few. Nicole Kidman, right?
Nicole Kidman
So
and Will Ferrell.
I really like her. I don't like him as much, but I like her.
Mhm.
And I was like, okay, this one is going to be good.
Yeah.
And it
wasn't
was
good.
such a disappointment.
It was. I agree.
to
I saw it.
me.
I didn't like it either.
I didn't like at all. They made idiotic. I really did not. So it was. It killed me. It broke my heart.
And they actually did a good thing in the sense of usually it works when they wait a long time because it's the younger generation probably didn't see the original show.
Yes.
But this movie didn't do well at all.
It didn't work
No.
because I think everybody who watched and liked it was waiting for that. The new generation
New and
didn't
improved.
care as much,
Yeah.
but we are all waiting. Oh, a movie! Oh, I'm gonna see again,
Yeah.
watch it again, and then you see that it's just like it didn't go well.
The other thing is, Bewitched took place in the 60s, and there really hadn't been that many kind of witchy, sorcery, funny shows.
Mhm.
And then there were more and more movies like that too. So it's kind
Yeah.
of probably lost its luster by this point, because they had Sabrina the Teenage Witch and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't like. I thought it would be more loyal to the TV
isn't.
show, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, no, not at all, not good. Maybe they would do better if they do Jeannie.
I Dream of Jeannie.
Oh, I love her.
Yes. Yeah, she's great.
So who knows? Maybe they will do it.
I'm surprised. I thought they did, but maybe they didn't. I don't know.
I didn't know that. I don't think so.
Yeah. In any case, that's a good pick. I agree with you.
Yeah, you don't have in your list, right? I hope not.
Honestly, I don't even think
Stop
I might have
copying
mentioned.
me.
I record all this way before you.
Ew, stop copying my list.
Number 5.
So number 5, another like disappointing moment. It was X-Files.
Okay, so I never even got into the X-Files, so I'd like to hear someone who actually enjoyed it.
I really like this. I didn't watch all the episodes because it's been like on forever, and they come back now with a 10th. How do you say
like a reunion?
No.
Season.
Season.
Yeah.
Thank you. And it did so well. They're producing
doing another one.
the 11th. So it was. I like X-Files.
Do you like the reboot?
I
you
like
the
I didn't watch it yet. I'm
one.
waiting.
Mm-hmm.
So because I like binging, so I'm gonna sit and watch everything in one day.
Okay.
So I am super into like ETs and those kind of aliens and and whatever. And the series was amazing. I really like it. What's her name?
Gillian Anderson.
No, but the oh my god, agents.
Scully.
Is Scully and Mulder. Me and my
Mulder.
accent is like getting better and better.
So David Duchovny and Gillian Anderson.
Yeah. So. And then, there's the first movie was 1998.
Yeah.
I don't think I watched. When I was looking, I was like, oh, did I watch that? I don't remember.
So it actually happened while the show was still going.
Exactly. Yeah. It was like in between season 5,
Yeah.
I think so. I don't know. So then came the 2008.
Mm-hmm.
It came the I Want to Believe.
Okay.
Right? So I was like, yes, there you go. Let's watch it. And they were like, what the hell is that?
You just didn't like it at all.
Where is the aliens? Where is the thing? It was so bad. It was like really bad. At the beginning, okay, we knew there's a gap. They were doing something with their lives. I was expecting that.
Yeah.
It's very cliche, right? I was like, I changed my career after because I could take that anymore. So yes, he was like, I think he did something wrong. He was hiding from the police or something like that. And she was a doctor, working in a Catholic hospital or something.
Oh, really?
Yes. So then they start like those people getting murdered, like it was just, like very badly, of course. My sentence doesn't make sense. You edited this.
No, we leave this all in.
It's really bad.
It's your train of thought.
Okay, and I'm
Stream
hungry.
of
I'm weak.
I'm a weak kid.
So I was waiting. Okay, where's the aliens? There is no alien, and it was like such a disappointment.
So it's just boring and nothing happens.
It is boring. It actually makes you believe that something awesome is gonna happen, and it's not. It's just like a group of medical. Please correct me. Like edited this. I'm sorry. Doctors, a group. They are doing surgeries. It was like Frankenstein style. They remove body parts to keep this person alive.
Got it.
So that was like the wrap up. And I didn't see that one coming.
So did you like the first movie?
I didn't watch. As far as I remember, I didn't watch.
You didn't watch the 1998 one. You watched the 2000s.
Yes, I watched this 2008, and I didn't like it at all.
So you won't even bother to go watch the 1998 one now?
No.
Okay.
I'm not wasting my time. But I'm gonna watch the reboot from the.
Just to see.
Oh yeah, that's better because
we'll see.
It's more like real to the.
We shall see.
My mom.
I don't know if my mom's been watching it. She loved the original, so.
So this was my number 5. I did not like it.
So now we're gonna start to hopefully get into movies you actually like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. There you go.
Number 4.
Number 4 is the Addams Family.
Yes. Yeah.
So I am not from the time of the series.
No, it came out before we were born.
But I did watch the series on the AE. There's this cable TV.
A&E?
Yes.
Okay.
So they did like a special with all the
original
Addams
Family.
So I was watching. It was funny, and you need to like go put your mind on that time to
Yeah, it's the 60s.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So okay.
And it's also in black and white, which is fun.
Exactly. So I did like, but there is the 91 movie.
Yeah.
I like it, but not as much.
As the TV show?
No, the movie. The Addams Family, the movie.
Yeah.
Inspired on the TV show.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what the podcast is about, right?
No, you said you didn't like it as much. What didn't you like as much?
No, the movie, I like it more than the TV show, but the one that I like was Family Values.
Really? So you like the sequel better than all
Oh my God, that was funny though.
Okay.
Like, I love Angelica Houston as the mom, and how Julie is always, my goodness, that guy he's perfect, Christopher Lloyd, right? And Christina Ricci, yeah, she's always good with this kind of, it fits her. So, but the second one was...
And we have to bring this up. Who did you dress up like Halloween this...
Oh, did you get my... Because no one got it. They just thought that I was a schoolgirl.
Yeah.
I was like, guys, it's Wednesday.
She dressed up like Wednesday, all with a
I
black
had the
wig.
wig. Yes, no one got it. Yeah. I was like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah. Oh, well, next year.
Oh.
next year you can be Thursday.
I know.
Yeah.
Okay. So, yes, I liked the second movie. But
and
I don't know why.
And you like both movies better than the original TV show?
Yes, I did. And I think I like the actors better. I think so, especially Raul Julia. I really like him. So,
but John Astin is a great actor.
But there's
the original
thing and
Gomez.
the kind of Frankenstein guy. I forgot his name. So
Lurch.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yes. So this is my number 4.
How could you forget Lurch?
I know. Oh, so yeah, funny story about them.
Yeah.
I had a ex-boyfriend that was super tall, right?
Yeah.
Super tall, super skinny, and my neighbors, every time like he was coming to my house, my neighbors would start like da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da. And he didn't know, and they told me before, and I would like hold like to not laugh at him, like because I knew. So this group of boys, here comes him, da-da-da-da. And he would sing.
Yeah.
He killed me. So yes, it was just like.
So you dated Lurch. Had a girl.
Yeah, as a Wednesday.
There you go. Number 3.
Yay, number 3. So it is. I really like the movie, and I really like the TV series as well. Is Mr. Bean.
Mr. Bean.
Yeah.
Rowan Atkinson. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So I watched this series. I probably watched everything because we had in Brazil, like I had cable and I would watch, and I didn't need
it's perfect because he doesn't
subtitle.
talk.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I was like so happy I understand what. So yeah, the whole situation. Oh, it was always funny, and I can watch it over and over again.
Yeah.
I will always laugh. And then there's the movie. So the movie came out like there's
much later.
2 movies, right? The Bean and the Bean. Holiday, Mr. Bean's Holiday.
Uh-huh.
So both is the same as Mr. Bean. So it's always funny. It doesn't matter what he does. Like the second is like he separates like father and son.
Mm-hmm.
I think because he wins a trip to France, something like that. And there's this dad and son traveling together. So before he goes in the train, he asks the dad to record him with the camera. And then the train just leaves and the dad stays and the boy goes with Mr. Bean. So, and tell me about the movie. Come on, it's Mr. Bean. Everything goes wrong.
Yeah.
He reminds me actually Inspector Clouseau.
Very much.
Somehow.
He's very absent-minded.
And Mr. Bean was the thesis of the actor, right? It was inspired. He actually studied it was like this character. Yes, from his master's degree thesis.
Really?
Yeah. So he explained a child inside of a grown man's body.
Which is true.
Yeah. So and then it became like the TV show.
But everything does work out for him, just like Inspector Clouseau.
Exactly, because he's innocent.
Yeah.
He doesn't do in a bad way. So I think the thesis was about that.
Yeah.
It's all innocent, but everything goes wrong.
So
everything.
In spite of himself, everything pans out.
Exactly.
Number 2.
So number 2, it is. Okay, you're gonna hate that, but okay, it is funny.
It's your list. You can do whatever you want.
I don't know how to say that, but I will try. The Ali G Show.
Oh yes, the Ali G Show with Sacha Baron Cohen.
I like that.
So you like Borat?
I like Ali G, I like Borat, and I like Bruno.
So you actually like Bruno? A lot of people didn't like Bruno.
It's a weird way to like.
Yeah.
That's the thing. You like it, but you feel bad for like. It's just a weird comment. It's very inappropriate.
I didn't feel bad for any of the people that are involved.
Oh god, that was like all the lawsuit that they had.
Oh yeah. But he goes after. But he also goes after politicians and everything. It's pretty funny.
But it's like for the Borat. Borat was, in my opinion, the funniest one.
Yeah.
And the only thing like that's real on that movie, it is, I think, is in the map, right? Where is the country is located? Everything is fake.
It's all staged. Yeah.
It's not even the name Borat. It's wrong. It's spelled wrong. The language is not that. They don't speak that.
No.
You know, the food people got offended.
Is he from what? He's from Kazakhstan or whatever.
Kazakhstan.
Yeah.
And the movie is like Borat, cultural learnings of America for make benefit glorious nation of Kazakhstan. So
that's official movie title. So I was working at Yahoo at the time, and so we had to, create triggering terms for that. I mean, we had to add that as the triggering term because that's the official name of the movie.
It is.
Yeah.
And it is like I like Borat better than the Ali.
Ali G show?
No, but the movie is Ali G. I believe.
Did they actually? I don't know.
It's 3 movies. It is. It's Ali G, 2002, Borat 2006, and Bruno 2000.
Because I know they definitely had the Ali G show. That's where everyone
discovered
this.
Because it was the first, and the show had the 3 reporters, right?
Yeah.
It was the 3. So there's 3 movies about it.
Yeah. So they basically had to stop doing it because everyone knows him now. See, in the beginning, nobody knew who he was. So yeah.
And he's good.
He's really good.
He's so good doing it.
But it's almost like you're cringing watching because it's so off-putting what he does.
It is, and he's very brave actually.
Oh yeah, he doesn't care.
The Bruno's in the swimming suit, he is a brave one. But I like Borat. Yeah. It was fun to watch.
No, it's so fun.
And I like the TV show as well. I saw a few episodes, not everything, and I enjoyed that. So the movie was good. That's what I'm saying. Like. The TV show is good. The
movie's good.
It kept it up. It was good.
All right, we're to the final number one, the one you actually enjoy.
That was so fast. Because I'm hungry, so I'm talking. Talking fast. So my number one, it is. No. No, I get it right away. No. Monty Python. Flying Circus.
Yeah.
So it's British again, like my 3 last ones. British shows like
that's true.
Mr. Bean and
actually I think Ali G is considered.
Yes, it is. Yeah. So I like it. I watched a few episodes of
Flying Circus.
Yes, it is fun. It's my type of comedy. It's kind of, it's like Borat. It's kind of sharp and it's funny and sometimes inappropriate. So that's me.
That's you.
But I like Monty Python, and I cannot believe you didn't watch Life of Brian. I mean, unbelievable.
So some backgrounds. When I first met Danielle, one of the first things she asked me was, "Have you ever seen Life of Brian?" Of course you have. And I'm like, I did, but I don't remember it. And so I went and watched it. And honestly, I just can't get into Monty Python. I like some of the bits, but as a whole, it doesn't do anything for me.
Really?
Yeah.
I think the Holy Grail, I think it's
That's
funny.
your favorite?
No.
What's the favorite?
I don't know, actually. The meaning of life is super funny as well. It's very disgusting. Like it is like you watch, but like, oh man, he's doing that. But it is funny. Life of Brian. It is. I think is my favorite because it's so stupid. The opening scene, like the 3 kings coming to him. And then they give all the gifts, and then they look and they stars on the the Christ,
right?
And then they take away and they leave. That scene is a classic. I'm like cracking.
All I remember is the killer rabbits.
This is for the Holy Grail.
Okay, then
I believe it's not fun. The knights that.
Which one's the Spanish Inquisition, or was that the TV show?
What do you mean? No, that.
Okay, see, I'm
I'm
the wrong person with
mixing.
migraine.
I have a migraine today. I can't think that much. But I like the Holy Grail, the R2, and Lancelot is a very coward boy guy.
Which the one that it's just a scratch? Which one's that one?
I think it's Holy Grail.
Okay.
But I like Life of Brian better, just because the parallel with Christ and the end scene, like the song and everybody crucified. It's very all his life. He's also he talks to the people and no way because he's always in trouble. So it is better, in my opinion. The movies are better than the TV show in this case.
Because this TV show is like a variety show. It's almost like Saturday Night Live.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. It is funny. It is very British. And I like the European. Yes. I like it, the European humor. So it's my first one.
Number one.
It counts, right? I mean, come on.
Of course, I think Brian might have mentioned it too.
Yeah. See? You always say you're curious about my list.
I was very curious. You did a great job in spite of having a migraine. So
yes,
I appreciate your time.
That's why I'm speaking weird because my migraine is killing me.
All right, we better get off before she passes out.
Yeah,
thank you, Danielle. All right, we're back with Lindley. Welcome back.
Wait, you didn't call me super producer, so that means you're not in a good mood.
I'm trying to say that we record these on different days. We don't record them back to back. The secret's out. Super producer Lindley's back. Welcome back. So for this,
you just said I'm in a good mood when I call you super
I am.
producer,
I'm always in a good mood. When we're interviewing, I'm in a good mood. And then we go back to work. So
exactly.
Okay, so for this week's episode, we're going to do the exact opposite of last week, and we're going to do a TV series that then became movies.
Yes.
There are a lot more of these we found than the opposite, so I'm curious what you came up with.
Well, yeah, I think during the early 90s?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or maybe the mid-90s, there was a whole, this was a phenomenon happening.
Yeah.
I think it's continued to happen. Kind of, TV shows that were nostalgic to people, they then turned them into a movie.
Exactly.
Right?
Yeah.
So I think one of the first, I don't know if it was one of the first ones. I have no idea. But one of the ones I really liked was Addams Family. I thought they did an awesome job with it. It was great. It was as good or better than the TV show.
Were you a fan of the reruns? I mean,
I watched those also on TV 20.
Me too.
Yeah.
They're great.
I still would watch that.
I mean,
anytime it would be, if I had a TV that just played, I would definitely stop on the Addams Family.
Now,
I still had a channel change.
Now, I know you really enjoy the movies. Do you enjoy it more than the actual TV series, the original?
Probably, but... Probably. I don't know. The movies are also tied to me watching them with my kids now, and my kids really loved the Addams Family movies. I mean, I feel like we watch it every year as part of our October countdown to Halloween. We watch Addams Family movies, and it's always just very enjoyable to rewatch.
I think we found it works the best when you wait 20 or 30 years. Because you have
20 or 30 years.
Well, no, because
to remake it
into a movie,
course,
because you have the certain generation that grew up with the TV show, and then the current generation doesn't even know it, so they can live with this movie. And so your kids are totally into the movie.
They would be totally into the movie. They don't care about the TV show. But I have watched the TV show with them, and then what's weird is I think they did a TV reboot.
They did
for one episode. We only saw. I don't know if there were any more, but we saw one.
Yeah. Plus the TV show's in black and white, and
Yeah, and I don't. Yeah, they just did it well, but I just didn't feel like they cast it well.
They did,
and it was so it was done.
I mean, you have John Astin, who is Gomez. I mean, but Raul Julia is great.
But he was great, and Angelica Houston. was,
Christopher
perfect.
Lloyd, and
Oh, Christopher Lloyd was so good.
And Christina Ricci. So,
yeah. When she was a kid, then. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay, so the next one I have on this is the Brady Bunch movie, which was terrible. I like it, actually. It was a horrible movie, but I love. I mean, again, another TV show I probably watched daily right after school. It was on Channel 44 or something, so we would watch it back to back. I mean, I just came home and watched a lot of TV as a kid. Horrible,
Me too.
So
I
really loved the
The TV show.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, the movie. I loved the TV show, and I loved that they made a movie. And again, it was just that nostalgic thing. I loved all the inside jokes, and
I think the movie
totally
worked
dug it.
really well because they made a spoof of it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
they were stuck in the 70s, even though it was supposed to be in the 90s.
Perfect.
So,
My husband hates it. I think
Really?
I made him go see it in the theater before we were married, and he was just like, he didn't grow up watching it, so he doesn't have any fondness for the show or the movie. Yeah, he hates it.
But Shelley Long's great as
I know,
the mom.
exactly.
And,
I just think, they just did such a good job.
And Ben Stiller's now ex-wife, I think.
Yeah,
was
Marsha.
She's great as Marsha. First thing I think I saw her in.
Christina something. She was the first thing I saw her in.
Yeah.
Christina something.
Can't remember
Not
her name.
Stiller, but I think it starts with a T.
Yes.
I don't know what her name is.
Taylor.
Christine Taylor.
Yep.
Christine Taylor.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, they cast it well. Like, she was a perfect Marsha.
Oh yeah, she totally.
But what's funny is I think they did. It was like a play, like not a Broadway, but an off-Broadway play where they were spoofing, where they did the Brady Bunch, and it had this huge. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It had this huge sold-out following.
Really?
Then, like in the early '90s, and of
okay.
course, it's like I would have gone to that if it was playing
Absolutely.
in my town because I love the Brady Bunch. So it's again playing to those. To people our age who had grown up watching it, right? Not even of the like. I don't like the Brady Bunch was one of those shows that also wasn't a hit when it aired on the TV.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think, but it's like for people our generation when it played in the reruns. That's when we watched it.
Kind of created a new life. Yeah.
The early '70s, right? It must have been like 70. It was only on a couple of years too. Like
and they
not
would
very long.
kind of bring it back. They do like a TV special.
Yeah,
like,
they did, right? Yeah,
and they're always bad.
Yeah.
I think they did like a Brady Bunch wedding.
They
where both of them
did,
get married.
right?
Yeah.
Remember?
It's
I
really
watched
bad.
that. Oh my god, I completely forgot
They're
about it. They
awful.
also did a what do you call it? A show, right? Like
Yes.
a musical variety
they
show.
did. Yeah.
With the cast.
Awful.
They're pretty
Awful.
much terrible. Yeah.
They do like how they do holiday specials and things like that. They do
Yeah,
probably something like
I think
that.
it was called A Very Brady Wedding.
Yeah, exactly. It was.
Yeah.
It's awful. Absolutely terrible.
Terrible. Yes.
Okay, what are the other ones?
Oh, so the other one, similar to that, was the Twilight Zone movie. I thought that was a good movie.
Yeah.
They
I
just
need to
did,
go
they
back
just
and watch
redid
it.
Yeah, I actually want to go back and watch it too because we watched the Twilight Zone every year.
Yeah.
The TV show,
Which is brilliant.
and we love it. Yeah. We kind of pick the favorite episodes.
Sure.
The like most popular episodes. But the Twilight Zone, the movie was really good when it came out.
And unfortunately, it's best known for the helicopter crash and like the disaster.
The movie,
the
yes,
movie
I
version.
remember that.
Yeah.
I completely remember that. That's terrible.
But also, John Lithgow's, I think he plays the man on the wing.
Oh,
scene.
he is
Yeah,
that?
I
He's the
think
man.
He's in the
or
person.
He's on the wing.
I
He's
don't
the
know if
guy on the plane, or he's the guy on the
I think
wing.
he's in the plane and he sees the guy.
He's seeing the guy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But that's such
and
a
if you
brilliant-
watch the original TV show, it's like so bad. It's a guy like in an ape suit. It's
It is.
terrible.
It totally is,
It's like
but-
you can really see it.
Yeah.
It's such bad special effects.
But there are so many great episodes, and again, I don't know if I've said it on the show, but my favorite is with Burgess Meredith.
I love that
with,
one. When
the
he
library
breaks his
one.
glasses.
Yes,
Yeah, I love that
it's
one
a
too.
brilliant
It's
ending.
So
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great.
It's a great show. Yeah.
Another one is the Muppet Show movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
So that was a TV show. So probably the first two are their best. I love all Muppet Show
Yeah.
movies. Muppet movies.
Yeah.
They're
Not
all
the
good.
ones that they kind of made to DVD, but probably up to
No,
Manhattan.
but I liked. Well, there's that's that the right. There's the Muppet movie, and then the Muppets Take Manhattan.
and the Great Muppet Caper.
Oh,
So
yeah, I
the
forgot about
Muppet
that. And then
movie,
it's Muppets in Space. I liked that one.
That one I
It was
did.
terrible, but
My Muppets ended after Manhattan. So that was 84.
The Great Muppet Caper.
No, so
Manhattan and Great Muppet Caper
it
was
was
number
81.
2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then 84 was Manhattan. So
Yeah.
I think growing up as a kid, I enjoyed the Great Muppet Caper the most. But then looking back now, I think I enjoy the original best. Like as an adult,
Yeah, the
I like the
Muppet
original.
movie.
Yeah. There's a
and
lot
then
of
the
musical.
remake was actually good.
I enjoyed it.
with
Jason
Jason
Segel.
Segel.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. But you probably were too young to actually watch the Muppet Show on TV.
Yeah, reruns.
And I remember
Channel 44.
So there were
Yeah.
no. I don't remember there being Muppet Show reruns, but I
do.
watched it on TV,
Yeah.
like on Sunday nights or
Mhm.
something. It was on. I totally remember it. We looked forward to it. We were so excited.
It was
to watch
basically
it every
Saturday
week.
Night Live with Muppets.
Yeah, I know. It was so good.
And I went back and watched some of them. They had great musical guests. Like you'd see
They
Elton
had
John
really, they said it was really popular
Yeah.
to go on the show. Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh, John Denver was a
John
big deal.
Denver.
My mom loved
Yeah.
John Denver.
Alice Cooper was on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
It's a very funny. They had really funny, iconic, stars on there.
Yeah.
Okay, what are my? I said Muppet Show movies.
Yep.
Oh, this is a really dumb one, but Brain Candy, Kids in the Hall.
Oh, I haven't seen this one.
Nobody has seen this, but
Okay.
I saw it in the theater. I was probably like the only person,
Mhm.
and my friends that I dragged with me to go see it in the theater. It was in the theater like 1 week, so yeah.
So
If
it's
you
based
watch
on Kids in the Hall. Okay.
It is the Kids in the Hall. It's their movie. It's
Okay.
basically like an SNL movie, but
Mhm.
then an SNL skit that becomes a movie.
Got
That's
it.
what it is. Like Kids in the Hall is SNL-like. It was
Yes.
produced by Lorne Michaels. So yeah, it's
Okay.
their movie.
I'll have to check it out. I
Yeah,
haven't seen it.
Yeah,
Doesn't work so
Well, I
much.
mean, don't go like home today and
I should
watch
watch
it,
Kids
but
in the Hall again, and then
Kids in the Hall
yeah.
is really funny.
Yeah.
It's good. Yeah, yeah. I think you can watch it.
Is that on Hulu or Netflix?
It might be. I think it was on Netflix, but you know how Netflix drops things they're showing. I'm wondering if it's still on Netflix.
They might
you
keep
could
it if I have
see
the
a lot
disc.
of clips. Oh yeah, well
Yeah.
you can definitely get the discs. You can watch a lot of the skits on YouTube.
yeah.
Like I usually look things up on
Yeah.
YouTube if I have to watch it.
Yeah.
And my last one is Wayne's World.
Absolutely.
I always have to do Wayne's World, no matter the topic.
But
Wayne's
you can
World.
save this when we talk about
Oh, I
Saturday
can't
Night
say.
Live.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So cut it out. You don't have to say. But isn't that But you're saying that's not a TV show.
I mean, it's part of a TV show.
Yeah, I got it.
but
Okay.
We're
But
going
it's
to do a
not-
whole SNL episode, so we can save
But
it.
oh my god. Okay, you are.
Yeah.
Because there's not a lot of good SNL movies.
There's 2 good ones. That's
Wayne's
it.
World and Blues Brothers.
That's it.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
And the rest are
crap.
horrible.
Yeah. Hat.
Yeah. Oh, and
Superstar.
Superstar, MacGruber,
See, I don't
Stuart
even know
Smalley
MacGruber.
Saves the World or something.
That
like
became a movie.
That is a movie.
Oh, terrible.
Night at the Roxbury.
Night at the Roxbury is terrible.
There's
but
8
Yeah.
and Coneheads.
Coneheads, and Coneheads would probably be my number 3 pick. if I
Yeah,
had
and
to
it's not
watch.
good at all.
No,
but I enjoy
sure.
it. But yeah.
But I like Dan Aykroyd.
Yeah, and Chris Farley's in
Jane
it.
Curtin.
Jane Curtin. Yeah. But,
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
That's it.
If you enjoyed this podcast and are an iTunes user, please do the show a favor and head on over to the official iTunes page for Damn Good Movie Memories. Be sure to leave a rating and a review. This will allow the show to appear higher in the algorithm and spread the joy of this podcast to the masses. If you are not an iTunes user, you can still listen and subscribe on Podbean at damngoodmoviememories.podbean.com. Be sure to like us on Facebook under our Damn Good Movie Memories page. You can also listen to a limited number of episodes on YouTube. I hope you enjoyed this week's episode and be sure to tune in next week for an all-new episode of Damn Good Movie Memories.
I am Dr. Fuck.
And I'm the Absolute Alcoholic.
And we are part of the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
We are the Rock and Metal Combat Podcast.
That's right. And the way you can check us out is we are on iTunes and also Podbean. And we forgot a review recently. I got this review right here. It says right here, it says, Rock and Metal Combat Podcast is the greatest podcast in the world. And it's my #1 podcast, signed by Science. Now, and then Science also says... Science also said... My second favorite podcast is It Doesn't Matter, the rest suck. Rock and Metal Combat Podcast on iTunes and Podbean. Check it out.
Science! Are you ready for the hottest new podcast out there? Check out the Vieira Vault, featuring none other than Dr. Fuck Ralph Vieira. You will hear personal stories and personal songs from the vault. There ain't nothing else like it. The one, the only, the original Vieira Vault on Podbean, Stitcher.com, and iTunes.
Spreaker.
God damn it.